I'm cheating. As I don't feel like I'm cheating when I hand color. You know, like when you see these films, everybody talks about those old films that they're, you know, they were coloring or whatever, that, and that was, people said that's cheating. I don't feel that way with my hand-colored photos. Oh, another reason I used to hand-color photos, let me tell you, is because I couldn't afford to shoot color. So I got some requests for a certain musician from a magazine or whatever for color shots. So I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't want to lose that, you know, sale. And so I started hand coloring, thinking that would, you know, bring in the bucks and, or at least get the sale. So that's one of the reasons I started doing that.
How'd you get started in this whole thing?
In photography altogether, music photography. It's a really sad and funny story. No, it's not sad. It's just, it's kind of quirky. How do I tell this as a short story? I ended up living in Sarasota, Florida. I drove to Key West once with a friend, two friends, and I fell in love with Key West. I went back to Atlanta, packed my little Honda Civic, and moved to Key West. I found a place to live that was like, there were screens on, there were no windows, it was all screens. I got there during mosquito season. There were 10,000 mosquitoes in the room. I freaked out and I left. I went and stayed in a hotel for a week. Then I ended up in South Florida. Then I ended up in Sarasota. Met the first two people I met when I was there. They're still my friends to this day. One is a legendary radio guy from Tampa, but he lived in Sarasota at the time, was doing the overnight shift. Met him with a Bob Marley t-shirt, started talking to him. He had a roommate who had a dart, who was a baby photographer, who loved shooting bums. He was from New Jersey. He shot babies and bums. Andy, where's Bruce?
Oh, yeah,
Andy,
right, Andy.
Andy, you met Andy, yeah. You've met everybody.
Right.
And he had this dark room in his bathroom. And I was shooting, I got my first camera, long story how I ended up with that, but it was a gift. And I started shooting black and white, and I had to learn how to develop the film, because again, couldn't afford to send it out, and wanted to learn the craft. Now that's a difference today. You know, no disrespect to my friends that are shooting digital and have never been in a dark room. I don't think there's anyone here, all of us have been in a dark room shooting digital, right? You even you, Celia, has been in the dark room, so, you know, young guy, he's doing it right. But I wanted to learn the whole craft, and so I got in the dark room with him. I'd sit on the toilet, he'd hand me paper. He'd literally hand me paper. No, I would hand him paper while he printed. And then he'd say, okay, kiddo, it's all yours. He had to go to bed. And I would stay up all night printing. My negatives had dust all over them from this. I would turn the light on to look at my print, and but 15 palmetto bugs this big would scamper. These are three guys that lived in a house on the beach, and it was like a little kind of, you know, rest chapel place behind a big mansion that people rented out. And they didn't do their dishes. You know, three single they didn't do their dishes. So, and I was afraid of little bugs, right? Little ones. But so I figured if I have the stomach to get through that and to not freak out and to keep printing, I was meant to be a photographer. So I did. I kept doing it, and it just. And then Bob, one of the DJ, who's now a big programmer and celebrity in the whole jazz world, award-winning, you know, radio guy. He took me to my first jazz concert, Phil Woods in Tampa, Florida, and I photographed that. And then I stayed in Florida for a little bit longer, and I ended up back in Atlanta because nothing was really happening in Florida, and that's where I started hooking up with a small publication called Creative Loafing, which is now owned by Village Voice. So it's like the weekly arts publication. And I would just say, hey, I'd like to shoot this. The editor saw some of my work and he said, okay, go ahead. And I get $10 for every photo that was printed. And that allowed me to buy the film. So that's how, you know, and it was all in black and white. So that's why I was shooting mostly black and white. And then, you know, I was in Atlanta doing that. And then building up the portfolio, working for different other photographers, this portrait painter, another photographer in his darkroom, a very famous, not world famous, but famous for one photo that he did. It bought him 2 Porsches, this photo. It was an incredible photo published all over the world on billboards, and I was his printer, I was his studio manager, I did all
What
that.
was the photo?
It was a photo of runners. Nike bought it. It was this road, marathon in Atlanta, and it was a runner who was falling over and collapsed at the end, and they have all the water like that was causing a big mist. It was just a beautiful photo, and he sold it to Nike, and then it kept getting all over the world, exposed magazines, billboards, this, that, and the other. And, he wasn't really known for much of anything else. He was a more commercial kind of photographer and Atlanta regional guy. And but that one photo was, and I worked for him and did his darker than.
Does he get a royalty for it?
Oh yeah, he still does. Oh yeah. He probably, I don't know how much it's still selling, but it did for so long. And so I ended up knowing I had to come to New York because this is where the music that I love, the jazz, the world music, I needed to be here. And plus, I had roots here, so, family was born, my mother and father were born in New Jersey, and used to always come up as a kid, and I felt like it was time to come to New York and try to cut my teeth, with the big boys. And it's all about big boys. It's all, I've got to nudge my way in. It's a man's world, it is, the jazz photography. There are more women there, but it was a bit of a challenge, still is. So, next. That was long. I keep looking at you. I don't know why. Are you asking all the questions? I'll look at you.
Are there any artists that you had wanted to photograph but never got a chance to, and that you wish you had?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I mean, ones that were obviously ones that died before I started shooting, like Coltrane. I am very honored to own a beautiful Coltrane photo from one of my favorite photographers, Jim Marshall, who's one of the great legends of music photography. If anyone knows, some of the hottest photos out there in the world, Bob Dylan rolling that tire. That's how he came up with the title, Like a Rolling Stone, right? But anyway, I was gifted with one of his photos, but I never shot Coltrane. And there are a lot of